Get some intro music. Something like that. What's up, y'all? We live.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode live WTF Thursday with yours truly, Coach Dmitri, and the one and only Mr. WTF. And as
What's
always,
up,
the guy
y'all?
don't tell me nothing but what he tell y'all. So that's what's gonna make the conversation that much more interesting. What you see is on the thumbnail is imagination or knowledge. So yeah, you kind of give us some insight on what you were thinking, man. Because I'm right here with the audience, man. This is your child right here. Give us some insight on what you were thinking.
Well, and I jumped on this because I have to say this on Saturday. Everybody that's local, we're gonna be at the Love Church. It's for an event called Hanging Out with Mom. So we have moms and their teenage young men from the grades 7th through 12th. It's going to be a brunch. Starts at 10 a.m. We eat. I speak, and then we're going to have some events. But my brain has been going because you all, for those that don't know, I don't write down anything. I don't, I'm not scripted out. Like that's not. So when we do these lives, it's random
Mm-hmm.
as hell. But I love that because it's authentic and it's from the hip and it's truly not. Because man, think about it, you all. Like Dmitri, smart as hell, and if we research something, he gonna have all the stats and wah 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 wah. And I'm like, that's okay for a webinar, but when we go live, baby, we want live in action. What are we talking about? So that's the reason why I kind of do it that way, because I want it to be just coming from the hip, being authentic, because we live this here at the WTF, you all. This is, like I say, we're not pitching you anything. We don't charge our clients money. We're not trying to sell you anything. That's not what we do. We're really
Right,
trying to
right.
bring the knowledge to the people to get you to thinking. And if we can start you to thinking, perhaps you could save yourself. But
Mm.
the key word in that is perhaps, because a lot of us have stinking thinking. And then we get to the point to where we defend our lack and we'll I got all the excuses to defend my lack and where I'm at in life, and I'm gonna tell you everything that you need to hear and know about why I lack and why I'm where I'm at and why I'm staying where I'm at. Have you heard people like that before? Or is it just me? Like, they
Absolutely, absolutely, man. I used to be friends with people like that because I used to be that person. Just to be honest
right.
with you, bro.
We
And
all
yeah, yeah. And it took me to seek out elevation, to seek out that mentorship, to really, because I honestly knew that I was capable of much more, and when I heard this quote, if you hang around four bums, like you're gonna be bound to be the fifth, right? And I started
Yep.
looking back at my life and like looking at the people who I used to hang out with in high school and college and in my 20s, generally like the time when you waste the most time in partying and different things like that. So as I began to get older, in my 30s, I'm like, hey, like that light bulb started to go off in my head, like, okay, time is ticking, and I don't see the results that I know that I'm capable of, even though I was making progress in certain areas. I was like, now it's time to shed that dead weight, i.e., those old quote unquote friends, and then make some new friends, make some new connections, of people who are doing more and for people who want to do better. Because if you hang around for people who are aspiring to do better and become their best self, then you're bound to be the fifth person. So
Man, those are facts spoken eloquently. And here's the so going, with the we always talk about using your imagination. To me, that's your greatest gift ever. Like it's the greatest gift. I don't care what knowledge you get. Without the imagination, you, you're settling. You're
mm-hmm.
defending your circle. You're defending this box that you in, and you built this box around you, which means that you have tunnel vision. You're nearsighted. So if you see this box, you can't see much outside of that or in front of you. You ain't going too far. And the most knowledgeable people, this is something that, and if you all think about this, the people who have the most knowledge are the least likely to be successful.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, yeah,
What do you
yeah,
mean by
yeah.
that? Now, hold on. You can't just slide past that. Like, hold on. Now, that messed a few people up because it kind of threw me off track. So break that down, man. What are you talking about? So, because we was taught the person who gets the best grades, who acquires the most knowledge and memorizes the most stuff, they're gonna be the ones, the valedictorians. They're the ones that own the companies, and they're the ones that are successful. So, what are you talking about?
Hey, well, first of all, some of your facts are off what you were told because look at the people that are the most successful. All of them dropouts.
Mm.
Pick somebody. They all dropouts. Some of them dropped out of high school. Others dropped out of college. None of them were valedictorians. None of them was the highest in their class. Like even Bill Gates, the nerdiest of the nerds, dropped out of college. So, like knowledge, and let me make sure I frame this correctly. We all seek knowledge. We need knowledge. I'm not knocking knowledge. I'm comparing the two, and what I'm saying is that the most knowledgeable people are the hardest to become successful, especially as an entrepreneur or moving forward in life. Why? Because it's called paralysis through analysis. The smarter we are, the more our brain breaks it down and decomposes, and we think so much and we're going so much and we have so much knowledge and we're looking at risk and this could happen, worst case scenario, and we're doing it. And before you know it, we ain't did nothing. Whereas the people with the least amount of knowledge, but the more imagination, they'll go for it. And you'll be like, that person is right there. I mean, I've seen this in corporate America. It's not a matter of smarts. We always believe in the KISS concept. Keep it simple, stupid. Because people want to make it so hard and think, oh, we got to do it. We got to do it. No, stop doing that. Hire somebody else to do that for you. But if you are truly a visionary and a leader, then your imagination is what's going to allow you to soar. Because as I stated before, everything created in existence started with imagination. Mm-hmm. It didn't start with knowledge because it didn't exist. Think about that. We are creating things that never existed, and we created them not based on knowledge, but based on imagination. Now, as we mature, we can create some things based on knowledge, but it always start because how are you going to create something new? How do you measure it? Where do you get the knowledge? This is something that's never been in existence. So how do you come up with the knowledge and the numbers and the risk factors and the bell curves? And how do you come up with that? You don't have that data because this is new. How do you quantify it? You can't quantify it. So all these wonderful, knowledgeable techniques that we've been taught in this 20th century school, I say that again, the 20th century school program that's teaching us how to be industrial workers and military folks that hasn't been upgraded, but we're in the 21st century and they're teaching us 20th century methods with the same grading scale from the 20th century because it was designed to create factory industry workers. That's what the school system was designed by the Rockefellers. They did this on purpose to create a workforce. This was created in the 20th century. We are in the 21st century. And you wonder why these teens are not grasping it. You wonder why they're like, man, I don't care about these grades. And I have a master's degree. I've been around all of the smart kids. And the smartest of the kids are the dumbest, the least to survive because they so damn smart that they defend their lack with the techniques that the school system has provided you. Man, I'm gonna pause for a second because I know Dmitri, you better jump on my head.
Man, nah, bro. I'm actually sitting back and I feel like I'm part of the audience, man, because this is some new stuff I haven't even heard from you, bro. I've known you for a little second now. I feel like I'm learning new parts of you, and that's a great thing, man. And one thing that I do want to touch on is it's kind of like the not the chicken and the egg, but like the something does come first in this whole process of imagination versus knowledge, and which one is more important. And in my opinion, imagination leads to knowledge. Like you were,
Mhm.
like you
Yeah.
were saying earlier. I mean, like you have to have that curiosity, and that curiosity is often stifled by parents. And being as that
Ooh.
parents spend the most time with these teens, and that's who we focus on
Mm.
is the teens. But as we begin to grow this community and grow this organization, me and you've been talking, man, and we were like, hey, we should probably focus on the parents, because the parents
Yes.
have the biggest impact at the earliest time. So by the time the WTF is able to get a hold to the teens and hopefully make an impact, it might be a little too late in some instances, because those patterns and those habits started at home in an earlier time, where the parents could have made a big difference in the outcome of that teen. So now we're thinking of, hey, let's focus on changing the mindset of the parents, because they're going to be an extension of the WTF essentially inside
Yeah.
the home. It's going to be a continuous WTF pushing via the parents to the kids, and that's how you really get that change. So parents, we encourage you all, don't stifle the imagination, don't stifle your kids' curiosity.
Mm.
As young children, like, kids gonna ask you, why this, why that, what's this, what's that. Parents, don't get upset when they ask you endlessly what this is and what that is. You want them to keep that inquisitive, curious nature, because in this world where we're being pushed with distractions and
Ooh.
nonsense and all different types of things to keep us off of our purpose, you want to make sure
Mm.
that your children, this next generation, has that curiosity, that fire continuing to burn into adulthood. So they're always continuing to push the status quo to improve society and improve themselves,
Yes.
and not being subservient to the narrative that's being pushed to them by just, accepting what is and not questioning and not pushing back. So that pushback is what
Yes.
makes progress.
And what did you just say? What is? You know what is is? It's knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Those are facts. These are the facts. This is the knowledge. This is the facts. And as I always say, from the great Richard Pryor, you gonna believe me or your lying eyes. No, seriously, because your eyes and reality, we keeping it 100. If you look at reality, then lack is all around us. The knowledge that we see in front of us is that the world coming to an end. We about to go to World War III. The market is crashing, and all these things are facts. Knowledge, kids, suicide is up, murder rates in prison, re-entry, and what's the word for incarcerated? Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. Uh, I ain't the smartest. That's why we have this topic. But seriously, these are facts. This is knowledge, and it does what? It just lets you know something. I just seen some guys in front of a church that's so smart that they can literally create a stoop to sit on and tell you everything that they know knowledgeable, and they're entertained while broke. We entertain while broke, but we gonna beat our chest on what we know. But you can't even imagine yourself doing something greater.
Mm,
Because if you could,
mm.
if you can see it in your head, feel it in your heart, you can hold it in your hands. There's a third element to that. Normally, I just say you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hands, but you forgetting about something. You have to have an emotional connection to what you see in your head. Once you have that emotional connection to this, then you can hold it in your hands and make it happen. Then you gain the knowledge. But it all starts with the imagination. The imagination is the root to everything that's ever created. And if you right now want to create a new life for yourself and you want to create a new future, it's gonna start with your imagination. Because if you simply look at the facts, look at the knowledge of your situation, it's doomsday. I ain't that smart. I ain't that good at this. And I'm gonna defend my lack by telling you why I ain't good at this, why I can't do this, why I had a young lady tell me I got the cancer gene, I got the Alzheimer's gene. My doctor told me that's knowledge and that's garbage, because you can imagine yourself healthy as you can be, and if you really feel it, then cancer and Alzheimer's won't ever even touch your doorstep. But if you
Bro,
look at the facts, bro, I mean,
man,
hey, we going there. Think
yeah.
about it.
Now I was man. I had to kind of pause you because you was cooking a little too much. Right? I had to go ahead and give the audience a break and give them an intermission. Hey, visit the
Man,
WTFMA.com, everybody. Check out our podcast. Check out
yes.
the information about our academy is WTFMA.com. Hit us up in the contact tab if you have any questions about what we have going on, or if you want to set up a one-on-one consultation on us, complimentary. We're
Dmitri
not
done
going to charge
froze
you.
up on me.
Froze up. Uh, hello. Okay, I froze up. Dang, I'm gonna come back in.
Man. These people be playing with me. I lost my guy, Dmitri. Most of you all done dropped off, so we apologize. We're going to hit this topic again, maybe even tomorrow, because I got to get to the point of this knowledge versus imagination, because it's so dope. And a lot of us are stuck because we're focused on the knowledge first. And knowledge is key. Knowledge is critical. But without that imagination, you just know some stuff, y'all. So we're going to sign out for the day. Peace as always. Go out there and check us out on WTFMA.com. And in my guy Dimitri's voice, I will say what he would normally say, which is WTF not only means what's the formula, but it also means winning takes focus. So again, we apologize for the technical difficulties, you all. We're going to get it together and figure out what's going on with this app. But just to sum it up, and we're going to have a second part to this because we were interrupted rudely with this technology. Like, man, y'all got to get this together because, you know, we got people that really need this info. Because let's think about it, you all. You know, a lot of people who have a lot of knowledge, but they're not winning. Knowledge does not equal winning, because it's a whole bunch of smart dummies out there. You know some of them. I know some of them. I used to be one of them. But when you can get someone that can blend the two, where they start out using that big old dome, that imagination, and forming things, and then you get the knowledge to support your imagination, your thoughts, that idea that hasn't been birthed, the thing you've been thinking about maybe for years and you haven't taken action on it. The knowledge may say you shouldn't do that. If you look at the facts will say, nope, your chances of being successful with that are low based on knowledge. But if you can imagine yourself doing it, you can achieve anything that you want to. But you got to believe it. Remember, you got to hit you in your chest. You have to have an emotional connection to that thought. If not, it'll go by. You're not going to do anything on it. If you do something on it, it's not going to be worth it. You're going to be lacking. So what I'm saying is use your imagination, write it down, record it, whatever you need to do that's on your head, whatever great ideas you have. It may be a great book. It could be a company. It could be an invention. It could be all type of things. But if you just base it on knowledge, you'll say, yeah, you'll be wasting your time doing that. The chances of you being successful with that is slim to none. You don't want to do that. Oh, don't listen to nobody around you. They're going to definitely tell you why you shouldn't do it. Facts, knowledge. But I was taught imagination is critical. And as we always state in Genesis, you were made in the image. Remember that image word, the root word to imagination is image. Y'all ain't feeling me. But think about it. You know so many smart people full of knowledge ain't doing nothing. And when I say nothing, let me quantify that. Maybe they're working a job. Maybe they're making ends meet. Maybe they're waiting to retire. To me, that's your thing. But to my go-getters out there, to the people who do have that wild imagination and can see some things that don't exist, yeah, lean into that. Lean into your great ideas. They're coming from on high. They're not coming based on the knowledge. They're not coming based on what you learned in school. How many of us remember half the stuff we learned in school? I had to take trigonometry. All I remember is that I hated it. I had to take statistics, calculus. Ain't using nothing. That's just knowledge. You just know some stuff. How many people you know right now broke as hell, but know a whole bunch about a little bit? They might know a whole bunch about a lot and broke. So does knowledge get you paid? Does knowledge bring about the impact that you want? Are people paying you for your knowledge? You know they ain't. Be honest. But you can have a wild, crazy idea that you bring to fruition that they will pay, that you will have impact over others with, that people will listen. Man, I got straight A's in college. That none of that means anything. Do I know some things about this and that? Yeah. Did it help me get a job and have a career? Yes. But we ain't talking about that guy from back then. We talking about the guy right here. This right here is all about the imagination, you are. Because if you can imagine it and get an emotional connection, you can hold it in your hand. And what I'm saying is, if you're cool with settling with where you are, then I'm happy for you, baby. Do your thing. But if you can imagine something far greater, don't let the facts or the knowledge kill your dreams. If you do, you will defend your lack. You'll defend your knowledge. I'm going to defend my degrees. I went to school and yeah, I'm going to defend it. Yeah. But where you at? Are you happy? Are you at joy? Do you even know what that means? I promise you this, you can look it up yourself. The smartest of people do not make decisions. They just analyze. Somebody else will make a decision like Dumb Donald. And he can imagine the craziest things on this earth. But, you know, this technology just zapped it. You all like, man, I'm so not happy right now. But I'm happy for those that stayed on, that are riding through the technical difficulties. We lost our guy, Black Crypto. He'll be back. We're going to hit this topic again. And if you have questions, comments, let us know. Comment on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We all over the place. Leave us some comments if you have questions about this thing, whether knowledge is more important than imagination. But all right, y'all, have a great weekend. Again, we got an event this Saturday at 10 a.m. at Love Church in Belleville. Look it up. It's on Facebook. Your guys is going to be the keynote speaker. It's about the mothers connecting with the sons, and we're going to make sure that they leave up out of there with a far greater relationship than when they came. But it's your guy, Mr. WTF, signing off. Again, I apologize, but we'll be back on this topic because I ain't done with this. Peace, y'all.